everyone, Dan Holman with The Wealthy Retailer coming at you again. Today we're recording on March 18th. We called Margo this morning and said, hey, Margo, we need to chat again. I want to know what you're doing with your retailers. I want to know how they're dealing with this crisis, disruption, apocalypse, whatever the hell we're calling it. And so, you know, like the person she is, she dropped everything she was doing and got on the phone with us. Margo, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Dan.
All right, we're past the formalities. Let's get into this. It's March 18th today. This is going to come out, you know, somewhere between now and, you know, tomorrow or the next day or the day after, whenever. I mean, we're deep in the throes of this thing. What's going on in your retail world right now?
Well, it's pretty, you know, up and down. I think, like all of us, you know, the tremendous amount of fear of the unknown is really scary. And it's forcing us to, you know, to make some rash and quick decisions, that are extremely necessary and extremely difficult, for our businesses, for the people that work for us, for our community, and all of those things. And I think, you know, what has really been going on, basically, I'd say now for a good 10 days over here in my office, has been a combination of talking people off of ledges, right? Because at the end of the day, this is all going to be okay. It has to be.
Right.
As long as we have our health, you know, we are actually going to be okay. And then really trying to preserve what we have from what we've built as business people, as entrepreneurs, and to really map out different strategies, knowing that whatever strategy we came up with today that we thought was a really good idea, 5 hours later, it could change based on, you know, a town shutting down or a shut-in happening like in San Francisco. So, you know, it's just, it's volatile in that it's not meaning nasty, right? It's just so ever changing that it's hard to control. And, you know, I'm a control freak. I don't know if you know that about me, everybody.
Yeah.
But, you know, so it's hard.
Right.
It's hard.
And, you know, part of, you know, it's funny. I said this, I think you've heard me say this. I've said it a few times. You know, people say to me, how you doing? And I say, if I told you the truth, you know, I don't know, you know, I can't lie to you. So don't ask me that question. You know, our world is spinning so fast, so out of control. And if you don't have a yeehaw, hold on for the ride attitude, we're in trouble. That's not being, you know, the panicked retailer. That's not being a lunatic. That's just, hey, you're either in this thing for the ride or you're not. And if you're not prepared to ride, then it's okay. Put your head in the sand. You're going to close your store and you're going to find something else to do. But that's not a choice for a lot of us. We have to figure this out.
Yep.
You and I have had this conversation over and over in the last couple of days. You know, you're not saving your business by cutting your expenses. You're not going to save your business by not paying your rent. You're going to save your business by driving the thing forward, by figuring out how to sell. Yep. And so, you know, if you've made the social decision to close your store, if you've been forced to make that decision, you know, to close your store to the public, tell me what those people in your life are doing to keep the revenue needle moving today. Yep.
So I actually just had a really great conversation. I've had what time is it? 9:22 a.m. in California Pacific time. I've been on the phone since 6:30. And I've had some actually really great conversations. So one coming from a, you know, smaller retailer that does under $1 million, you know, that actually has really had a very strong Instagram game, let's call it, you know, since she's been open. And yesterday she had like a $2,500, $2,000 day. And I noticed that when I was scrolling through Instagram late last night, and I said, wow, that's so awesome. And I said, who were these customers? She said, well, you know, I actually have a really nice Instagram following that some of these people are all over. And so, you know, I really just I mean, she had to lay everybody off. I mean, she's a very small, small margin,
Right.
family owned and run business. So she unfortunately had to lay people off in her, that work for her. And so she's taking on everything. And, she went in with a vengeance, started taking pictures of everything and just really communicating. So this morning she did a live video and she was telling me that usually she gets like 4 to 6 people watching her live videos, like when she's done them in the past. And, people watch them later, but not actually live.
Right.
So today there were 45 people on her live video. And that's actually pretty powerful because obviously a lot of people are stuck at home. We can't go anywhere. We're not working from the office, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the audience actually expanded. And now she does not have an e-commerce website. So she does everything through direct message. And she's, in hopes that she's going to have another really great, solid day.
Right.
So that is pretty incredible. The other, business.
But so before you jump on, just a minute. Sorry.
Yeah.
I want us to kind of reiterate what happened here. She had, previous to yesterday or today, she had 4 to 6 people watching the messages she was sending out. Because of what's going on, she grew her audience 10 times.
Yep.
Right? And so the opportunity, for her to engage and consequentially, ring the cash register has grown by 10 times overnight. Mm-hmm. The message for the retailer out there isn't you have to do live. It's that this example's opportunity bucket, their funnel, grew by 10 times overnight. Mm-hmm. When was the last time you grew traffic through your front door by 10 times?
Exactly.
Okay, sorry.
Exactly.
I won't interrupt you anymore.
I'm used to it, man.
Okay, the next example.
So, the other store is a little bit more complicated. It's 6 stores, 4 of which are in a seasonal-ish area. They have year-round business, but it's pretty seasonal. The other 2 are pretty regular, women's contemporary stores. And so, they are facing 2 different challenges because the stores that are just the normal, fall, winter, spring, summer, are a little, they have a little bit more of a challenge in that they missed almost the entire season, whereas the seasonal stores are really missing the one big month remaining in the season, right?
Right.
And those 4 stores were to carry, themselves through essentially until October, right? Until the season picks back up, right? They're in Florida.
Yep.
And, so here we were rocking and rolling, right? And this is coming from someone as a business owner who is very much aware of who she employs, how important it is for them to be paid. They have families. They need to pay their rent. They need, so that's been a really interesting conversation in the last really like 72 hours, even actually through the weekend. I mean, pretty much started Thursday, Friday. It's like, oh my gosh, I have these people and they count on me, right? For their livelihoods, right? And obviously I get something in return because they are working in my stores and all of those things. But, now we're faced, they're faced essentially with, what do I do with these people? I can't leave them high and dry. And going back to what you said is driving revenue is what's, super important here. So, I think what's most interesting is we're going to see who's going to step up to the plate and actually put themselves out there potentially to be exposed to something that could be very scary, AKA this pandemic that we're going through, the COVID-19 situation. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard about it.
No, I heard it's in the U.S. a little bit, but.
Yeah. So, it's like, what do you do? So right now she's actually not really changing anything, right? Because the four the 4 stores in Florida aren't being as affected as other stores like in New York City and in California and
Washington.
in other places in Washington, and they're not on total freak down lockdown type of situation. So we're still kind of trying to manage that. But when we were about to get off the phone, she said, I'm getting the social shaming.
Yep.
And what do I do? Because at what point is, self-perseverance? Because, even though we're all in this together, we actually do have to protect ourselves, all of us.
Right.
And that's you, that's the guy who owns the coffee shop on the down the street. It's all of us.
And social shaming is happening right now. I mean, it's shaming, it's bullying. It is happening right now for these business owners that are taking a stand for themselves. The funny thing is, everyone, and my team is going to hear this podcast, everyone has the ability to go out and claim benefits and get some level of, support outside of, my umbrella.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have that. You don't have that. Our retailers don't have that luxury. And all we're doing is standing up to try to persevere, to try to protect, the businesses that we've built. We're trying to protect the families that are impacted by our business, certainly our employees and our team members and our colleagues, and we're being shamed for it. I said to you yesterday, I'm standing in the middle of an empty building and it's killing me. But that was what was required. That's what was necessary so that, my team felt safe and secure and, had the opportunity to be here tomorrow, whenever tomorrow comes.
Right. Well, and I think that, Dan, is actually the most important part. Like what everyone needs to realize who wants to go there and wants to social shame and wants to judge, right? And actually, I've had some store owners that actually feel that way, right? Like I can't believe that someone would, another store owner would want to, open their doors for anyone, and things like this. But at the end of the day, any action that our clients are doing to stay afloat is because when this all blows over, they want to save the company so these people have a job when it blows over.
Right. And we shouldn't be shaming them because they're doing what they have to do to protect what they've built, what they have. We have to recognize. And the funny thing is, the people that do the shaming, are the people that, maybe aren't as impacted personally. Tell me what you do for a living. Tell me who signs your paycheck. Because my paycheck is signed by the customer that I'm working with today. My paycheck is going to be signed by that girl that I connect with, on Instagram, on Facebook, via FaceTime while she's at home on her sofa or while she's looking after her kids. That's who signs my paycheck.
Yep.
Right? I don't have this luxury.
And I think as far as the other thing too that you and I have been talking a lot about, that I think is really interesting and that will be very interesting in the next, 60 days is the nature of our relationships with our clients. And I've, been really thinking a lot about this lately because obviously it's being shoved in my face a little bit more than I thought it would be.
Right.
But my relationship and, the way that we work is really, this is no different than if it was business as usual. The most important piece of what we're doing now, other than obviously like a little bit of like psychological support and strategies on, employees and commissions and things like that and how to drive revenue, nothing really has changed. We have to follow the cash.
Right. And so, we live in I don't want to say business as usual, but the minute that we abandon our belief system in supporting our retailer where they need us, we're all in trouble.
Yep.
You have to
So
follow the cash.
Right. Best business practices. Get a list of all your vendors.
Yep.
Difficult conversations with all of them. You know, let's look for partnerships. How do we survive this together? What kind of negotiating can we do? But most importantly, right now is what does your balance sheet look like? Where's your cash? What's your debt? What is potential revenue, right? Forget about projecting it, forecasting it. You know, what is possible? Do we think is possible? What will our expenses be to do that, right?
Right.
And how long can we sustain ourselves, right, with whatever cash we have? In some cases, people don't have that option, right? In some cases, which I think, you know, people that are shaming and stuff like that, they just don't understand, right? I mean, we were at the top of the season. Like, it was like, and so all of these retailers invested in inventory, stocked up their stores, and then everything came to a screeching halt. We have millions of dollars worth of merchandise in all of our client stores collectively, and really, you know, no one to sell it to that's going to walk in the door, just business as usual, obviously. So, you know, people need to be considerate of things like that, because they don't realize when they're social shaming these store owners that the vendors need to be paid to stay alive.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, we certainly don't know what they don't know, and we don't. Everyone is reacting. This is the problem, Margo. You know, and whether it's shaming or not or whatever it is, the reaction that's happening out there right now is very individualized. The way I'm reacting is different than the way, maybe not that you are reacting, but it's going to be different than the way somebody else is reacting. And, you know, when we have to have a difficult conversation with our team members, you know, we're going to get different reactions from our team members. Some are wholly supportive and some are like, oh my God, I can't believe you would do this to me. You know, and that's just that's people's reaction and their ability, you know, to take what is potentially threatening information in and convert it to positive action.
Yep.
Right? That's the world we live in. Okay, hey, listen. You know, if people need a little bit of Margo love today, where are they going to get it from? How do they get you? Remind us.
You can get me by going to my website, theprojectretail.com.
Yep.
Or you can email me personally at margo@theprojectretail.com. You can also text my cell phone, which is 314-503-2607. At this point, you know, whatever anyone needs, client, non-client, like, we are all, this is a one, like, world situation, and I want us all to be bigger and better for this and know that no one's alone. We are all going to get it, you know, we're all in this together. We can do it.
Right.
Don't quit.
Yeah.
We got it.
If we stand together, we prevail. If we, you know, start rowing our boat by ourselves, we're probably not in a good place, but together we got this. And so I'm going to say, you know, you guys, if you just need a little bit of time, someone to talk to, someone to bounce, you know, your frustrations off of, absolutely reach out to Margo at theprojectretail.com. You know, you can always reach out to Dan at thewealthyretailer.com. You can book my time. You can text me. You can carrier pigeon me. You can do whatever you need to get my time. I mean, we are here. I'm also going to share one more resource with you. If you head over to management-1.com, they have a live, what I'm calling a live blog update. They're filtering the noise. They're putting relevant information on that page. It's a great place for resource. There's also good information. There are good news stories, not just bad news stories. You can see real time how people are performing, you know, different levels of stores or different kinds of stores, how they're performing. And those guys are sharing some really great webinars. So you can hit up management-1.com. and follow them. If you haven't already subscribed to our podcast, absolutely get on your favorite podcast platform, search out thewealthyretailer.com, favorite it, subscribe it, follow it, and we're going to keep funneling information from great partners like Margo Kopman with the Project Retail. Yeah, that's what I got today for our COVID-19 update. Margo, thank you so much for pushing the pause button on your day and jumping on the call with us. Super, super appreciate it. And I look forward to our next talk.
My pleasure, and stay healthy, people.
Right on. Cheers, girl.
Bye.
Bye-bye.